There we go, starting the recording. So, hi.
Hello.
You look like you're ready to dance, Katie.
I have ballet later.
Ah, see, I was right. Awesome. So, okay, hi. And I don't even know what week this is, so I'm just gonna go. Here we are, continuing in our continuing. What is it? In our continuing journey, like Star Trek. Um, So let's talk about questions. Do you have any questions about anything we've covered so far?
Nope. It's just hard to focus on all the things at once. Like the diaphragm and the neck and the knot and then the thing and the shoulders and the out and the down and then I'm trying to do flute as well, which is then the fingers and
Totally. I get it. And what I will say to you is what I say to all of my long term students. It takes time. I think I've topped out at something like 872 things to remember when you're singing. And I completely understand that in the moment you're like, what are you talking about? There, it's too much. And so there are things to say about that. If I were to tell you the top 3 things to remember, it would be support with your breath, don't strain here, and 2-finger rule. Those are the 3 biggies. Supporting with your breath will give you the song. It'll give you the actual sound. Relaxing this will keep your voice from straining, and the 2-finger rule will give you greater resonance. It's like having a bigger sound hole in any instrument. The bigger the instrument, the more full the sound. So, so it will give you more bang for your buck, if you see what I mean, than the other stuff that we're talking about. When you master those, when they become second nature, and they will, do I have to think about it nowadays? No, I really don't. But that's because I've been employing these techniques for decades. So this, as a singer, as an artist, this is a lifelong process. It's like as a dancer, I like what Katie said. I have ballet class in a little bit. You've been a dancer since you were a child, and you still go to class because you're still. I have I don't see it right now, but I have this little, like, a pencil case where I keep my coloring pencils, and it's a Michelangelo quote, and it says, "I'm still learning." And I just love that. I'm like, okay, if Michelangelo can still be learning, I think it's okay for me to keep learning, to be in the attitude of beginner's mind or student mind. So don't worry about all of the things. Worry about those 3, and if you can't even worry about those 3 right now, if it's too much, worry about the breath. Okay? Then, as the breath becomes easier to incorporate, worry about the tension in your neck. And then as that becomes easier to incorporate, and it will, and I've had so many students tell me that at first it was overwhelming how much I had to do, and then it became easier, and I was able to just do it. So now when I sing, I don't I don't consciously go, oh, I have to engage my muscles in my belly, and oh, I have to raise my eyebrows. It's unconscious now. Nowadays, if I have to sing something in my head voice, my eyebrows go up, and it becomes part of my expressiveness as a singer. So I was singing, I'm doing that Blue Curtain concert series on Facebook Live because of the Blue Curtain, and I was singing Both Sides Now by Joni Mitchell. And there, it starts do 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 do, and then do 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 do, and I was looking back at the video of myself, and my eyebrows are like, whoa, and I didn't think about it. It's just that I know that if I want my head voice to sound full and resonant, that I'm gonna have to raise my brows, and I don't think, oh, I have to raise my brows because I'm going into head voice. I interpret the song, and the techniques flow from that. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Cool. Any other questions? All right, cool. So today, what I want to talk about is pitch and placement during runs of notes. So it doesn't even have to be you're going up the scale, do 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 do. It can be do 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 do. Anything where you are moving through a melodic phrase, And especially if you're going from chest voice to head voice. So do 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 do. That's all in my chest voice. But if I were gonna go do 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 that, or do 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 do. I'm not warmed up right now because my voice is tired, but I had to go from chest voice to head voice and back down pretty quickly. Do 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 do. Went from chest to head, back down to chest. And I don't want to have to think about, oh, I'm going into my head voice and what does that mean? What I want to do eventually is get to the point where I just do it and I'm not thinking the techniques. I'm just letting them happen as they happen. But at first, to stay on pitch, to have good placement, to make sure that your voice is doing the best that it can, it needs to be purposeful. You need to purposefully make sure you're on the pitch you want to be on by telling yourself, self, this is the pitch you're going on. And you want to have the kind of vocal placement that fits what else is going on. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, about this idea of the darker the tone or the minor chord, you're going to have a subdued tone filling in to that chord versus a bright tone like a major chord where it's a different vocal quality characteristic that comes through. How you place that matters. If I'm singing a darker tone, I'm not going to sing it like this. It's not going to work. It's going to sound really weird. If I'm trying to sing a dark tone, I want to have, excuse me, more rounded vowels and consonants that fit into that darker tone and darker quality than a brighter sound. Does that make sense? Some of that is also where you sit in your vocal folds. So I can be sitting on the pitch. I'm on the pitch. I can be sitting as if I'm on the pitch, but I'm a little bit sharp of the pitch. Or I can be on the pitch as if I'm a little bit down below the pitch. So the pitch itself matters, and the placement of that pitch in your voice and in the tonality also matters. When you're doing it as a melodic run of notes, it becomes a lot more challenging because there you are trying to sing a melody and keep track of all of those different techniques and all of the placement and all of the resonance while you're doing it. Kind of speaking to your question earlier, Brooke. Does that make sense? Okay, have you warmed up already? Good. So let us move on. I'm just going to ask you to go. That's your note, and we're going to do this one at a time because hearing you at the same time, Zoom just goes, "Wah!" So let's not try to do at the same time. So Brooke, I just want you to sing just la 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 la.
La 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 la.
Okay, good. Nice. All right, so I want you to put your hands on your throat. Do that again. And okay, now here's something interesting that you're doing. It sounds great. And your first few notes, la, 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 are nice and forward because your tongue is having to do something in the phrase, la. And as soon as you go to that last note, your tongue is going, oh, I have to get out of the way. And it's going down to the bottom of your mouth. And that's making your voice sound, I'm going to exaggerate. This isn't exactly what you sound like, but it sounds like this. Instead of la, it sounds la. So keep that same forward stance of your tongue. Ideally, you want your tongue to be, tip of it, sitting against the back of your bottom teeth. Ah, as opposed to this side sitting against the back of your bottom teeth. Does that make sense? So try that again.
La 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 la.
Better. Could you feel the difference? Yeah, so there's more sound that comes out, and it doesn't sound constrained then, because the tongue muscle will constrain the voice if your tongue is against the bottom part of your mouth, then this is what's happening, and the back of the tongue is hitting the back of the throat and cutting off sound. So when you're in that space, I want you to slow it down and go la, 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 la. Very gently, drop your jaw. This isn't about forcing the jaw open. It's about letting it drop. And
La 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 la.
Nice. Now this time on that high note, keeping the placement just on that high E, I want you to raise your eyebrows. La 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 la, essentially, but as slow as you just did it.
La 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 la.
Yeah. Could you hear the difference in that high note? So that engagement makes a whole lot of difference. And we're going to do different runs, and you're going to be employing those techniques as we go. So hold on a minute, Katie. Let's hear you do the same thing.
La 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 la.
Ooh, so pretty. Okay, I love the little la 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 la. It was a very folk sounding sound. It was very it sounded like Joni Mitchell, really. La 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 la. That is a stylistic choice. It's totally fine, and it kind of let you get into that note very easily. I want you to drop your jaw just a little bit. It sounded very nice, but I want you to drop your jaw, and you're like you're one of this is in no way an insult. You're a smiler, right? You
No.
you smile a lot. So as a singer, smiling can be an asset, but it can also challenge some of the quality of the notes that you make. So instead of la 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 la, I want you to imagine me coming over and going la 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 la. Try that for me.
La 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 la.
Good, good, good. Better. Now, on that high E, I want you to raise those brows. La 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 la.
La 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 la.
Good. Now slow it down a little bit more so we have it's still a run of notes, but I want you to really feel the weight of each of those notes. So it's a little bit more like la 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 la.
La 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 la.
Okay, that's very nice. You don't need to stop the sound between the
Right,
notes.
I realized what I was doing.
Oh no, it's a but that's a style of singing. There are lots of times where you have to do that. If you sing Gilbert and Sullivan, do 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 do, and it's all these staccato notes that you do forever. So it's a good skill to have to be able to do. But for right now, we're doing a little bit more legato. So I want you to carry the sound through each note without sliding. So it's not la. You're still separating note from note, pitch from pitch, but a little bit slower. And
La 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 la.
yeah, very nice, very nice. Okay, good. So when you're doing this and even longer runs of notes, you still want to have these techniques come in. The higher you go, the more you need to talk yourself out of thinking the notes are high. So because we tend to sing comfortably in our comfortable range, but as soon as we get into higher parts of our range, we go, oh no, I can't. Oh. And it's, it's not true. We can. Our vocal folds will do it. We just have to get out of our own way a little bit. So I'm going to ask you to do the same thing on a ma, 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 ma. So you're going to get rid of that consonant as quickly as possible and keep the pitch and keep the placement. So if you find that your voice needs to go into a different place, like the eyebrows raised or singing into the unicorn horn, whatever that is for you, I want you to do that, but with oh, I hear you, Brooke. I totally understand. Yawning is good. Yawning. I should teach a class called Yawning for Singers because yawning means you're oxygenating your blood. You're breathing deeper, and that's what we want. So I want you to do the same thing on ma, 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 ma. Only this time, I want you to purposefully put everything in your head voice. So instead of ma, 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 it's ma, 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 ma. Have everything in your head voice.
Weird.
I'm sorry, Brooke. Yeah, we're just
Oh.
Brooke is
Sorry,
the
I thought you were were still talking to Katie.
No. Sorry, I switched and I did not make myself clear. So the thing that I'm asking for, how do I put this? In the Zoom window, I'm seeing me, I'm seeing Brooke, I'm seeing Katie, and so I'm just kind of going Brooke, Katie, Brooke, Katie. Miranda's not here, and Deborah's not here this week, so I'm just going to be going swapping back and forth. Every time we finish one exercise with one of you, we're going to switch to the other. And I could have made it a lot more clear. My apologies that I didn't.
You're good. I was doing it silently anyway. So. Can I have the note again? Mama, mama, mama.
Aha, very nice. Okay, now on that high note, remember how we're talking about placement. It's not just your eyebrows raised, and this is something we talked about last time too. Your tendency is to do this. Let the sound come. In fact, put your hands back here and go, ma, 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 and let the sound come from back there.
Ma, 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 ma.
Yeah, much different sound. Now, take that thing and go, ma, 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 like you had the instinct to do. Let the sound placement be outside your body. Let the head voice just resonate out there. Yeah, and even in your head voice, it sounds delightful. My head voice doesn't do that. My head voice, when I'm that low in my head voice, it goes, I'm non-existent anymore, and that's it. It just doesn't want to do it. I have a very strong chest voice in where my lower head voice would be, but my head voice is just like, it gives up the ghost a lot. So very nicely done. What I want you to do as part of all of this is just remind yourself. This sounds kind of hokey, but remind yourself that you love this, that you love to sing. Because what I watch happen when I'm watching you sing is you're very good at it. Obviously, you're very good. And you're still nervous about it. Do you understand? Yeah. So here's why I want you specifically, before any time you open your mouth to sing, remind yourself that it's, just say it to yourself, this is so easy. I love this. Because it is. You've been doing it for decades. You know what I mean? So
Right.
try that same thing, and you can say it out loud, or this is something my voiceover teacher says to us to do before any voiceover. He's like, just remind yourself, you get to do this. You get to share this with people. You love this. This is easy. And I'm like, you're right. I do love this. Oh, yeah. And it's a really nice discovery. So try that. You can say it out loud, or you can say it to yourself, and then sing those notes. Now that was a world of difference. It sounded so much more free, How did that feel to you?
Good, more relaxed.
The more relaxed you are, the less tension you have here, the more you will have that freedom for your voice to fly. And I think that's what we want. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, totally. I'm really realizing this stricture in my neck is all about being afraid to be heard,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And so much of this is reminding yourself that it's your birthright, and that feeling of I'm afraid to be heard. Most singers, I think, go through it, and many singers perform with that as sort of the monkey on their back every single time they perform. And it doesn't have to be there, because you have a gift and you're sharing your gift, and that's a beautiful thing. But it's hard to remember when you've got that nervousness around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So keep thinking in terms of that, of reminding yourself to have the confidence that you deserve to have for sharing your gift, because you're fabulous at it. So, we're lucky to hear you, and that's the thing. So go you, and keep working on that. Miss Katie, let's hear you do it. All in head voice. You've got a voice like a bell. I love it. So what I want you to do is take that sound, make your neck in your imagination like this big, because it's sitting right right here in the resonance, and I want you to make your neck about this big and sing to your fingertips. Try that again. Yeah, very pretty. Now, drop your jaw on that last note and let the last note, what we're looking for is consistency of tone. And I'm exaggerating right now. This isn't exactly what you did, but you started out super strong. You were like, ma, 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 ma. And that last note kind of went, oh, never mind. And it may be a confidence thing. It may be a breath thing. I'm not quite sure which it is with you. It may be a combo of both. But, or and, you've got, we've been working together on and off in this way for years, and I know the lovely quality of your voice. The hard part, of course, comes in having the confidence to put your voice out there, right? So the thing that I want to say is, like you are as a dancer, like you are as a clown, like you are as a performer, it's about, it is about sharing it. We benefit by getting to hear you sing. And that's just the truth of the matter. So if you can remember that, just like with dance, you are sharing a gift with the people who are lucky enough to hear you, and keep that most in your mind when you sing, it will open you up, because it is sharing. Like I'm doing these blue curtain concert things every day in one way or another. I played Native American flute yesterday. Why? Because I was like, you know what? I haven't touched this for a while, and doggone it, I'm going to play it. And so, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's literally a bungee cord on my flute now, because the strap that was holding it together was A, leather, which I don't use anymore, but B, it was falling apart. So I was like, I'm going to fix this with a bungee cord, and now I need to see if it works. And you know what? I'm going to get on Facebook Live, and I'm going to do it in front of everybody. And so I did. And I suppose that, yeah, I could be like, oh, what if people don't like it? And then I thought about that and went, so what if they don't? What's the worst that could happen? I'm playing Native American flute. I'm not the greatest Native American flute player, but what's the worst that can happen? What could they do? Nothing. They could not watch. Okay. Then I just have some fun video of me playing Native American flute. And if they do watch and they don't like it, I think it's kind of an opinion. It's your opinion. Good for you. My job is to be the person who plays the music. Your job as a singer is to be the person who sings the music, who interprets the songs. The rest, we can't worry about it. It's like RuPaul says, what somebody else says behind my back ain't none of my business. And I was like, the first time I heard that, I was like, that's beautiful. So it's that. It's like, just remember that every note you sing is worth as much as every other note you sing. And they're all worth quite a bit. So give yourself permission to begin as strongly as you end, and to end as strongly as you began. Does that make sense? Okay, try it again, Katie. Still keeping your hands here and singing to your fingertips. Ah, there's your voice. Very nicely done. So when you are singing this stuff, and this is again to both of you, when you're singing runs of notes, and we're about to do some jumps, there are times you have to do jumps that are wonky, and a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, a minor seventh, whatever it is you have to sing. We want to be sure that we are getting to the pitch we want to be singing effortlessly. If you have to, in performance, hit a pitch that you are not sure about, it will make you nutty, right? And we've talked a little bit about that, about, how do we do that? And I know, Brooke, you learn best by hearing things. So do I. But there have been times where, for me, I try to hear it and it's just not there. I cannot get it. It's not in my head. It's not coming. I don't know what to do. There's a line in Natural Woman. I can't even think of it. Let's see. When my soul was in the lost and found, you came along to claim it. And when I knew I had to face another day. No. And when I knew, I don't even remember the words now.
I had to face another day.
Yeah,
Lord, it made me feel so tired.
yeah,
No, I'm
that's the
mixing
first
it up.
verse. It's the first verse. Hang on. When my soul was on the lost and found, you came along to claim it. And when I knew I didn't know just what was wrong with me. Your kiss helped me. Without my guitar, I can't even think of it. But that line, when my soul was in the lost and found, you came along to claim it. I didn't know just what was wrong with me till your kiss helped me name it. That I could not get. And I still have trouble, as you can tell. And I sat there for a good 20 minutes and did nothing but those four lines. Nothing but those four lines. And my musical partner, Valerie, was just like, I guess I'll just sit here. I'm like, I'm sorry. This is the only way I'm going to get it. I'm just going to have to practice it 50,000 times. And I think, playing the banjo, doing some sort of a dance thing. And I'm not a dancer, so I don't even know what.
No, this is exactly. There's often times where you know this phrase of movement and you know this phrase of movement, and then that link is where the trouble spot is, and you have to keep going back and forth between the two phrases to link them together.
Yeah. And so what in your experience as a dancer, is it repetition that does it? What opens that door for you? What turns the lock?
Doing it very slowly and repetition.
Yeah, and that's sometimes what you have to do. What I'll sometimes do is I'll record it and I'll listen to it, 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 sing along with it, sing along with it until I can finally get it because it just otherwise doesn't happen. It doesn't work. And I find myself in a situation where it doesn't matter what I do. It's just not there. It's funny. Rich and I were just talking about this because he's always asking me where something is. And if I don't know where it is, I'll go, I don't know. And then he'll start trying to get me to know. And after 28 years together, he'll be like, well, do you think you could be here? And do you think you could be here? And I've been frustrated with him for 28 years about this and been like, in the moment, I don't know. And you can give me the keys to the kingdom and the secrets of the universe, and I still won't know where your keys are. Just don't know. And so what we realized the other day was that instead of him asking me questions right then, that what I need is for him to leave me alone. And I send it back to the librarian who lives in my head, whose name happens to be Edna. I send it back to Edna and I say, Edna, I need you to tell me where Rich's keys are. And then I leave it alone and he leaves me alone. And then it just pops up and I go, oh, by the way, your keys are in your shoes. They're at the foot of the bed. And that's how it works, right? Sometimes you do have to step away from it for a little while in order for your body and your mind and your spirit to kind of go, okay, this is what you were trying to learn. I'm going to reorganize myself in such a way that this will be easier for you. So some of it is repetition and slowing it down, just like you said, Katie, and singing it over and over again, like you said, Brooke. And some of it sometimes is step away from it. Give yourself permission to reorganize things and coalesce a little bit differently inside your own mind and then come back to it so that you don't tire yourself out, so you don't wear a groove doing it wrong. Instead, give yourself a little bit of time for your mind to reacclimate to this new normal. The new normal is that you are someone who knows how to do this run of notes or this particular dance move, and you will get to that place. Sometimes by repetition, by slowing it down, by doing it quickly, by doing step to step to step, and sometimes by leaving it alone for a little while. So I'm going to ask you to remember that you are the boss of your voice and that when you tell it to do what you tell it to do, that it is required to do it, right? And sometimes my neighbor is vacuuming. She vacuums 5 times a day easily. It's really bizarre. They have a dog and maybe she doesn't like dog hair or something, but she is 5 times a day. This is time number 2 already today. It's amazing. I am nowhere near that kind of a housekeeper. That's why I have a blue curtain behind me and not like my actual office. All right. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to, before we do this next run of notes, because it's going to be a little different than just, up the scale. I want you to think the run. Tell yourself that you can do the run and only then do the run. Does that make sense? Okay, Brooke, we're going to go back to you and it's just... So if you know do, re, mi, fa, sol, it's do, mi, re, fa, mi, sol, fa, re, do. If that helps you.
No.
Okay. You hear things rather than seeing them, so I get it. And music theory, I don't know, is music theory a strong suit for you, or is it something you're not really aware of?
I took it in college and I got an A, but it was at 8 in the morning, and I think I slept through the class, and I'm not sure how I got an A. I know some, but it's more instinctual than conscious.
I understand. I recommend an amazing book for people because it's incredible. It's called Epley's Music Theory for Practical People. And yes, it is amazing. It's written for people who are musicians already in many ways, who need the practical thing about music theory, not just the theoretical thing. And it is brilliantly written and easy to follow, and it teaches you music theory like that. So I highly recommend it. Just as a little aside, I don't, I recommend it so often. I've had people go, "Do you get like an affiliate link?" I'm like, "No, I don't do affiliate links. I just think this is it's an amazing book because it makes it so easy and so simple without having to do a lot of work." And I'm basically a lazy person, so I want to sing and do all of that stuff without doing a lot of work. All right, so try that for me.
On La?
Ma 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 ma.
Ma, 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 ma.
Nicely done. Okay, here's what I want you to focus on. If you notice, and I don't know if you did, but you went from chest voice to head voice between the first two notes, and you didn't raise your eyebrows on those higher notes, and you kind of strained a little bit on that first F sharp on the ma ma. That note was kind of a little bit of a strain for you, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because it's not something you're thinking about. And I want you to step back a little bit from the "ooh, I get to sing and this is awesome," and think a little bit more purposefully on this is what I'm. Oh, Katie, you're such a doll. Katie just shared the link in the chat for the Amazon link for that book. Thank you, Katie. That's very sweet of you. At least Musical Theory for Practical. I love this book. All right, so try that again and jump. When you make that jump from the first note to the second note, allow that openness up here to happen. La la. And if la is more helpful than ma, do that.
Ma, 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 ma.
Nice. You have what I have in certain notes. For you, it's the G. That's the place where your voice goes, "I'm not sure exactly what to do, and I don't know where I'm going to be." Ah! And my voice does the exact same thing. And it's really, really frustrating because what we want is our voice to do what we tell it to do. And it becomes tough when you are in a position of that transitional note between head voice and chest voice. And for you, it happens to be that G, that note. It went, "Oh crap, I don't know which way to go. Should I be in chest voice or head voice?" And what I'm here to tell you is you tell it where you want it to be. You can tell it mentally by going, "I want you to go into head voice," and it will automatically do it, which is cool. Or you tell it by engaging the muscles where you want the note to go. So if you want the note to fly into head voice, raise your eyebrows, engage your sinus cavities. If you want it to stay in your chest voice, keep this area engaged. Eventually you get to the point where you meld them and it's a consistent sound all the way between your head voice and your chest voice. For now, on that note, I want you to tell it to go into head voice. Go, "I am the boss of you, and I am telling you I want you in head voice." Try that.
Ma, 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 ma.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want. Because when you sing, and I know that most of the time you sing kind of low, as far as, you know, what you do in your voice, but you've got a nice upper range, so you can sing anywhere you want to in it. And if you want to be singing some of the stuff, like, you know, I know most of your music through Tinsmith and through Clishmaclaver. In Clishmaclaver, most of the time you sang the lower parts and Jennifer took the higher parts. And yet, you know, when I hear you sing, I'm like, you've got that head voice that I want to hear more of, you know. It's lovely. And what's cool about being an alto who's got a good head voice is that you keep that creamy sound up in the higher range. I don't do that. I'm a mezzo, so my sound is not creamy in my higher range. Your sound is, you know. So carrying that up into that higher range and allowing your head voice to really flourish will be really helpful. Try it one last time.
Ma, 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 ma.
Yeah, nice. Now, I want you to have a big head. Have a really huge head. Make your head just gigantic. Make it this big, this big. Yes, try it one last time.
Ma, 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 ma.
Could you hear the difference?
I think so. I was focusing on my fingers.
That's cool.
I wasn't listening.
No, that's good. That's good. You'll be able to hear it in the recording of the video. It sounded amazing because the placement was lovely, and it's, again, you have a creamy sound in your head voice, which makes me a little envious, I have to say. But yeah, you want that full sound across you've got a gorgeous voice, so you want that full sound across your range. If you place your voice in your fingertips, or, you know, next week we're going to talk about focus, which is a whole other, you know, that's how opera singers fill stadiums without having amplification. When you start focusing your voice where you want it to go, the sound, if I'm singing ooh just to you, that's fine. But if I sing it so that I hit the rafters, ooh, it's a different sound. I didn't do anything differently except change my focus. For you, internally, as long as you tell your voice where you want it to be going, you're going to get that bigger sound, fuller, more resonant, up in the high range much more easily. So nicely done. Miss Katie. There you go. Yeah, Katie's so good. She's like muting herself. Were you singing and practicing along?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, yay, that's so smart. Good for you. Okay. So yeah, and Brooke, feel free to do the same thing. If you want to keep practicing along and mute yourself, we can do that. And that way you can both of you keep practicing. It's very smart, Katie, to do that. All right, so.
There's something going on with my voice.
Take a break, take a drink.
Like I'm getting something in my throat. And so I could hear that time. It felt a little raspy.
And you normally have such a clear sound that it was audible to me too.
See, there it goes again.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take it up a little higher and get rid of the spot in your voice that's crackling. Nice. I love your sound. So here's what I want you to do. That was very nice. And what we want now is to think about consistency. So in order to make a consistent sound across your head voice and chest voice, there are different techniques you need to apply to different notes as you're going through the notes. Now, as you get more the vacuuming is going full force. It sounds like somebody's about to come crashing through the ceiling. So as you're singing these, you change the techniques minutely depending on what note you're singing. We're doing this nice and slow so that you can apply the techniques note to note, if you see what I mean. When you get to the point where you're singing this stuff quickly, the techniques are going to be applied automatically because you're going to tell your body and mind that this is what you want, and your voice is just going to do it. For now, slow it down even a little bit more to do these, and for each note, apply that technique so that when you're getting fully into head voice, raise your eyebrows and let the voice go there. Keep the smiling out and keep the tuba lips in. Ma, 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 ma. And I'm exaggerating. This isn't, you're not going to do that, but I want you to keep focusing, any instrument except for the silver flute and the piccolo, which wants a very sort of pointed sound. Most of them have sound holes that open outward because we want the sound to go out. If you look at any brass instrument, clarinet, sax, they're all this way. Since we are the instrument, we want to do the same thing. Ah, as opposed to ah. And in fact, hear the difference in my voice. Ah. Can you hear the difference in the tone? We want that tone to be more ah than we want it to be ah, because the ah tends to put everything in our noses. And if you want that sound, that's great. But know the rules before you break them. Open that up so that you are ah more than you are ah. Does that make sense? Okay, try that again. Nice. Okay, so the notes that I want you to focus on, the very high note, raise those eyebrows, and the very last note, which you're going right back into that smiling. Otherwise, all the other notes were glorious. Exactly. That was beautiful. Nicely done. So that high note was gorgeous. I loved it. In part because you went, oh yeah, this is the high note and I need to pay special attention to it. And here's the problem with that. Not that you did anything wrong, but we need to be at this point, as you are learning how to do this stuff, paying that kind of attention to every note. And I know that sucks because it takes an awful lot of concentration. But the more you, and I don't mean you personally, I mean in general, can pay specific attention to the notes, the more you won't have to pay that kind of attention as this stuff becomes more second nature. Does that make sense? So try it again. Sing this. I love it. The more you do it, pay that kind of attention. For every note, like you did to that beautiful high note, the more it will become easier for you to do as you do. It's kind of like doing, I don't know, rondelay. Is that a dance thing? A rondelay? No? A jeté. Is a jeté a thing? Okay, so the more you do a jeté, I don't know. I'm not a dancer. I love to dance, but I am not a dancer. And I've never had a dance lesson, so, I'm talking out of my butt in that way. But the more you do a grand jeté, let's say, the more you do that, the more you have to, like you said, break it down and concentrate on each piece of it to get to learn how to do it, right? Or a pirouette or anything. You cannot just jump into it and do it unless you happen to be Baryshnikov, I guess. So you need to break it down into its pieces and figure out what has to happen in your body for each piece. And then you do it again and again so that you smooth out the rough edges, if you will, or the corners, and it all becomes one curve. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Okay, so that's what I want you to do with this. Focus on every note and get it to that same level of concentration as you gave to that nice, beautiful high note for each note in that run, so that you can eventually get to the point where you don't even have to do any of that and it just happens. There's your note. Beautifully done. That's exactly what we want. We want that kind of, you have beautiful, consistent tone all the way through, which I do not. I have to fake it. I have very, my chest voice is very pronounced, and my low head voice is just weak, and it's something that I practice on every day, and I still don't have it. And I've been singing since I was 5, right? So you are already light years ahead in that way of where I am. And what I want you to do is be purposeful with what you are singing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to there are a bunch of exercises that go over this in the audio notes. Have you been practicing with those, either one of you, for that at all?
Not yet.
Okay. So, we're all busy. Everybody's got stuff to do. So I get it. But I'm going to put below the video for this week's, on that little web page, I'm going to put the exercise, the actual audio files you need to practice if you want to build this stuff up. There are a whole bunch of like la 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 or la 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 la, whatever it is, just to practice that idea of being purposeful with how you are placing your notes. We could have talked about pitch today a little bit, but I don't think we need to because you both have great pitch. So I'm not worried about you getting to the note because you've got the note. What I'm more concerned about is the note sounding like you want it to sound. Whatever is best for you, that's best for your voice, that's what we want to be doing. And then, again, know the rules before you break them. If you decide to sing differently once you know all this stuff, then by all means do it. As long as you are safe in singing, taking care of your voice, and supporting it so that it doesn't strain, I don't care what you do. Honestly, what I care about is that you sing the way you want to sound and you don't hurt yourself while you're doing it. That's my mission here. So as long as you are learning this stuff, taking safety into account, and practicing when you can, learning the rules, breaking them when you've got the rules down, you can break them all you want as long as you're safe with your voice. That's great. If you have questions during the week, by all means, get in touch with me, and I will happily try to answer any of them, because this is, just like you're going to ballet class in a little bit, Katie, this is something that we do for our lives. We are always students of singing. It's not I'm a complete singer now, I never have to learn again. Barbra Streisand still does it. She still practices, even though she arguably is the best singer of her generation. So we all keep practicing, we all keep learning. And this is my method, and you may decide a different method works for you better. Then do it as long as you're safe. I don't care as long as you keep singing, So does either one of you have any questions about what we've covered today? Nope. Okay. Well, then we're done. And I'm actually really glad, by the way, that instead of having to be cut off, that we were able to do this last little bit. I went ahead and got the little Zoom Pro thingy, so we can have a lesson and have it finished instead of going, wait. And one thing I do want you to practice this week, because next week we're going to be talking about forming consonants and vowels, is practice, we'll do Rubber Baby Buggy Bumper, just that tongue twister. Just Rubber Baby Buggy Bumper, you're doing the dishes or whatever, just Rubber Baby Buggy Bumper. And bonus points if you go Rubber Baby Buggy Bumper, Rubber Baby Buggy Bumper, Rubber Baby Buggy Bumper, Rubber Baby Buggy Bumper, Rubber Baby Buggy Bumper. Practice it while singing. It's a beautiful thing. It'll help you develop some of the skills, especially if you're going to be singing anything that goes by quickly. That would be great. Like, listening to you sing Patrick Street, Brooke, is one of those things where I'm like, yeah, that goes by fast. So, or
after like whatever it's been 15 years, I still can't sing the fucking third verse. Like, I just we're just gonna gloss over those syllables.
Right, exactly. I feel that way about Rocky Road to Dublin too. It's the same kind of you're oh.
So awful. Yeah,
no, I hear you.
Do you want us to PayPal you some money to help with the Zoom cost?
Oh, no. You don't. Look, it's funny that you say that. Deborah, the other day, she's like, she's coming to me for private lessons, and so she sent me the money for private lesson, and then she goes, and I added a tip for the class on Fridays. I hope that's okay. I'm like, sure, it's fine. If you want to do that, you're welcome to do it. I'm doing this because I think it's our birthright to sing. So if you wanted to tip me, go for it. I'd love it. But you absolutely don't have to. This is again, like I said, this is something that I can give, so this is something I'm giving. So it's up to you entirely.
Okay, what is your do you do PayPal?
Yeah, I do. It's my email is Izolda@gmail.com. It's just
It's just Isolda@gmail.com.
hmm
Okay.
yeah. Isolda's unusual enough, and I got on Gmail early enough, so I don't have to have any numbers after my name. It's just my first name @gmail.com. I know, right? It's amazing. All right. So yeah, I will put. Thank you for asking about that. I appreciate that. So I will put the exercise audio files below the video in the webpage of this, so that you can practice on them when you have time. We'll be back here next week at 11. Edley's Musical Theory for Practical People. I highly recommend the book. I don't know if he put it out as a digital thing, but if he didn't,
It's on Kindle.
it is on Kindle. Okay, good. Excuse me.
Is it worth getting on Kindle? I know I have trouble with studying books, having them in digital format, because I like to be able, when it's something I'm trying to learn, I have to like flip around a lot, and in digital books it's like crazy.
The only reason that I would get it in digital is because right now Amazon is taking forever to get things to you that's tangible. So
Right.
that's why I would say yes, because otherwise you might be waiting until June to get it.
And it's only $9 on Kindle and $25 paperback.
Yeah.
Kindle it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are decided. Yeah, that's a really good point. If it is that much less, then yeah, it's a good idea to have. And I highly, I mean, look through it. It'll give you a sample if you want to look through it. I highly recommend it. It's funny. There are little cartoons everywhere that help sort of explain things, and I really really like it. And yeah, I should have an affiliate link on my website for it because I recommend it so often. But I love the book and I highly recommend it.
I put the Kindle link in the chat.
You're so fabulous. Thank you. Any other questions? All right, cool. Well, then I will put the video up on the website of today's lesson and the links, and we are good to go. And if you find you have questions during the week, please don't hesitate to email me, and I'll see you next week at 11. And after you sing, after you practice, gargling with some warm salt water is a really good thing to do. So 1/4 teaspoon of regular salt or baking soda, either one, to 8 ounces of warm water. Stir, 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 gargle, gargle, gargle. It'll keep your voice in good working order. So, okay. All right. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See ya. See you next week.